All right, looks like we're live here. Sweet. I think we're good. Let me just make sure we're good here. Refresh this. Yep, we're live. What's going on, everybody? It's me, your long lost digital homie. You know how we do it around here. It's Supa Dave. And this is good old Milltown's Best in the morning. And, I got some kinks I got to work out as always. I'm trying to be on top of the game here. As you could tell, I'm trying out new stuff as always. I think that's the only way you can really grow in this space. And so I'm going early in the morning because I have so many kinks and bugs to work out. And what can I say? I'm just a morning person. Um, I have a lot I want to talk about today. As you guys know, the Commentary Community Awards are coming on the 16th. Not to be overshadowed by the Spurgies, which I believe are taking place on the 10th. That is the Now Recording Guys award show, and it's got precedence, It's that's the big time, That's like the Grammys of, commentary community. But I gotta really thank Matt Pitt first of all, because Matt Pitt didn't owe me anything. He really didn't. And Matt Pitt reached out to me and basically said, "Hey man, I just want to let you know we were trying to give you space so you could, do your award show on the 16th, but due to scheduling conflicts, we're going to do it on the 10th." Or he said earlier in the month. And he's like, "I hope you're cool with that." And I was like, "Man, you're more than cool with that. If anything, I'm stepping on toes here." I was aware of the Spurgies. I just didn't know how big of a deal the Spurgies actually were. So the 10th, we're going to have the Spurgies on Now Recording. And then on the 16th, we're going to have the Commentary Community Awards. And the voting ends on the 10th for the Commentary Community Awards. And I urge you guys, please check out Milltown Live on x.com. That's where you can find all the polls, vote, get all the votes in that you can. Because what we're going to do is, we're actually handing out awards. I made these sweet animated GIFs. And what we're going to do is we're going to give the award winners this animated GIF. And you could display it, on your Twitter page or, wherever you want to display it. Something a little fun, signifying you're a winner of the Commentary Community Awards of 2023. I'm really excited about it. Lots of work's going to be going into it. I reached out to Noddle to perform. He said he's going to record a little something, write a folk tune to, the big events of the commentary community from 2023, which will be lots of fun. I'm really excited about that. But I will also be notifying the winners beforehand, and the reason I'm doing that is because I hope that you guys can record maybe an acceptance speech, or if you got like a skit in mind you'd like to record, so we can throw it in the live show, the live show. And what the show is gonna be, it's gonna be a premiere. It's not gonna be live, it's gonna be all pre-recorded, but we're gonna do a premiere on the 16th with a chat. You know how YouTube has those premieres you can set. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm real excited about that. But this Milltown in the morning thing is kind of a way for me to get a lot off my chest and talk about what's going on in the news. You guys know I'm really up on the news. I like following what's going on in my community, and not just my community, in my country. And boy, is there a lot going on in this country right now. Today, I really want to touch on this Alabama police officer that essentially just tortured somebody that she was arresting. It was a complete abuse of power and authority. And I am glad that police officer is suspended right now. And I believe, according to a video I'm going to show, this is a slam dunk case for any lawyer. I think this case, the guy was accused of trafficking fentanyl. As much as I hate drugs, I didn't like the way this guy was treated, and there's no excuse for that type of behavior. We're gonna dive. Let's, one thing I like to do, guys, is I like to check out what's going on the news here locally every now and then, and it's just a way for me to keep abreast on the news. So let's just take it right now to Fox 6 News.
Running, and I have to run.
It all stemmed from remarks he made at a fundraiser in Massachusetts earlier in the day, telling supporters, "If Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running. But we cannot let him win for the sake of the country."
Oh,
He was
wow.
later asked whether he would drop out if Trump did.
No. Not now.
I personally don't think he makes it.
Trump was asked about Biden's candidacy during an interview last night with Fox's Sean Hannity. He was also asked about recent assertions from critics that he would abuse his authority if he returned to the White House.
I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border, and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator.
And just like previous GOP debates, Trump will sit out tonight's contest in Alabama. That stage will be smaller than the last, with just 4 candidates now. Get ready for some sharp attacks, though, as each vies to be the chief contender to take on Trump for the nomination.
We're in the middle of a race, and there are some deep differences in this party, and I don't intend to play with kid gloves.
All right, now, since the last debate,
that's some heavy stuff. Really, it seems like Trump has a lot more support than one would think he would have. I believe it's a lot of these down south voters, they love them some Donald Trump, and I'll give it to the guy. He's a character, but I think it takes more than being a character to run a country. Now, Biden, on the other hand, the man is a walking skeleton. We all know that. Not a big fan of Biden. I just don't know. The presidency is getting crazy, and now they're talking about the stadium here, guys. And this is a big thing locally with funding for the stadium. I wonder if that's what they're talking about.
The team generates billions, that's with a B, of dollars in annual economic impact, and supports thousands of quality family supporting.
The new law also calls for the body that owns the majority of the ballpark to study developing land around American Family Field and get ready for a new ticket tax only for non-Brewers events. During that announcement, though, at AmFam, there was something noticeably missing. Do you notice? The scoreboard. The new one is expected to be up by the start of next season. For now, it just looks and feels a little bare. It's like, what's missing? That's what it was. Well, the Bucks claim a spot in the semifinals of the first ever
6:38 a.m. here at good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin on the 6th of December. It's going to be an interesting day today, you guys. I just have so much going on family-wise, lifestyle. My lifestyle is changing immensely, and I don't know how I feel about that, really, guys. I'm having a hard time with change. And, it is part of my diagnosis. I don't handle change very well. And it's something that I've never been really one to handle well. And I'm trying to just go with the punches, guys. And that is just one thing that this police officer didn't do in this situation that we're going to talk about coming up next here. Essentially what happened in this, I posted to my Twitter. Let's go to it right now, guys. I posted on my Twitter here that we were going to talk about this. And this is some crazy stuff, guys. Look at this. I don't know why my audio isn't coming through properly. Again, we have tons of issues to work out here. 1 second, guys. Let me just figure this out here. Okay, this should be fine here. So this is a video from a police stop that happened in Alabama. Now, notice this man is in cuffs, and notice how he is treated and tased. It is despicable. And of course, the audio is still not working. We're going to have to go back on this, guys, because the audio is what's key here.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Okay, now we got it.
Stay straight.
I ain't doing shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah, fuck. I'm not. Oh, my God.
Fuck up.
Okay. Oh, down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
Crying.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the fuck up. You was big and bad. Shut your bitch ass up.
Wow.
Stay
Now,
straight.
I don't mean to keep playing this,
doing
but
shit, bro. I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
notice,
oh, yeah, fuck.
Notice he said, I have a gun. He's in control. You know, this police officer has complete control of this situation. And that is just torture, in my opinion. And it's not only torture, in my opinion. In this lawyer, this civil rights lawyer, he did a video on this whole case. And let's go to this video, guys, because this video is very important, and it just shows how egregious this incident really was.
Check out this viral video that just surfaced showing this female police officer in Alabama essentially using her taser as a torture device on this handcuffed guy who's just crying. In response to his crying, she says, "Do you want it again?"
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck.
You want it again?
No, man.
Shut the up. You was big and bad.
He said, "No, ma'am." Now, this is a video from
More
the civil rights
details on the
lawyer.
story are found at al.com. I'll post a link to this media report in the description link below. Basically, an Alabama police officer is now on leave while authorities investigate a weekend arrest captured on video in Reform.
I hope it's unpaid leave.
In Alabama, showing a handcuffed man being hit with a taser. The video begins with a white female officer from the Reform Police Department in Pickens County ordering the black man to, quote, stand up after he was handcuffed in the roadway in Pickens County. She then tells him to lay down on the front of a vehicle, which he does, face down. The officer then holds a taser to the man's back while she goes through his pockets. She tells him to stay still, at which point he says, "I ain't doing bro, I got a gun right there." The officer laughs as she retrieves the gun and says, "Oh yeah."
But notice he was completely compliant with her. His hands were behind his back. He was in handcuffs, she had full control of that situation. She got a lady boner when she heard there was a gun on scene, but she had it removed from the waist and had it placed on the hood when the guy's hands are immobilized. So there was no need for pain compliance. Back to the video, guys.
She then deploys the taser directly into the man's back, telling him to shut the expletive up as he screams. The man then begins to cry repeatedly, saying, "Oh my God." The officer then says, "Do you want it again?" As the man continues to cry, "Shut your ass up," the officer says. That's where the video ended.
Yes.
The video has been shared thousands of times on the internet.
Stand up.
Video makes me fucking sick. It really does.
Right there on the front of the car. Stay still.
Stay
still.
I got gun right there. I'm not doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, what you saying? Oh, yeah, fuck. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, down. Oh, my fuck. Oh, my God.
Did you guys hear him talk about his balls? Imagine that is in his lower spine, guys. Imagine how his testicles probably feel. I mean, that was through his whole body. Now, imagine if, God forbid, if that shock did something to make it so he couldn't have children anymore. Just imagine that. Imagine you get tased by a lady police officer unjustly. You can't have children anymore. What are you going to do? This man needs to get paid. The case needs to be thrown out. I believe he was accused of trafficking fentanyl, and I am not about drugs like that by any means, but I am not about our police acting in such a crazy manner. This is insanity. Like, seriously, guys, what do you do about something like this? Back to the civil rights lawyer, you guys. Let's see what he has to keep saying about this situation.
You want it again?
No,
Shut the up. You was big and
No,
bad.
ma'am. That's a grown man crying out. Sorry for the ads, guys.
Now, the secret behind any great burger, of course, is in the color, making sure
Yeah, we'll talk about your burgers some other day, Gordon.
Reform Police Chief Richard Black and Mayor Melody Davis sent out a statement Monday acknowledging they are aware of the video involving a, quote, citizen arrest that took place on Saturday. The department is in the process of turning over all materials related to this arrest to the Alabama State Bureau of Investigation and has requested a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding the arrest. Police and city officials referred questions about the arrest to 24th Judicial Circuit District Attorney Andy Hamlin. Hamlin said that the man was arrested on trafficking fentanyl, trafficking
Serious
fentanyl
charges.
on a trafficking fentanyl charge. Did I get it right that time? He said more information is expected to be released later today. As I mentioned on Twitter, and I've been discussing this quite a bit on Twitter,
It's all over
I would
Twitter.
be shocked, no pun intended, if in this case there was not a federal prosecution of this police officer. And I'm not saying that there shouldn't be
Charges
in every wrongful tasering case, but this one in particular, well, you have a white cop and a black arrestee, coupled with the fact that he is very clearly from
What's
the
up,
video
Daddy?
handcuffed. He's very clearly from the video not resisting or attempting to evade the police officer, not attempting to attack the police officer in any way, but is in total submission. Yet the police officer just maliciously still just tases him,
Yeah, it was evil.
as a torture device.
Yeah,
Usually
it was
when you see
downright
those
evil.
cases, even when they aren't, even when race is not involved in them, feds jump at those because they are a piece of cake.
Yeah,
to
it's a slam
prosecute,
dunk.
and this one in particular is all on video. This is a Fourth Amendment violation here. Excessive force during an arrest is a Fourth Amendment violation. How do
Absolutely.
the courts judge that? Well, the Graham factors. There are three things the courts look at.
See, this is why I really appreciate the civil rights lawyer. He breaks down the elements of the law, and he's going to explain right now why this is such a slam dunk case. I mean, there are no... I mean, it's clear that this is so wrong, and I love how this guy breaks it down. Watch how smooth this guy is.
One, the severity of the crime at issue. That's one thing I don't really know here. It says that he was arrested for tracking fentanyl. So fairly serious. All right. Second factor, is he attempting to resist or evade arrest? No. The video shows, unless our eyes are lying to us, that he's handcuffed, he's in total submission to the officer's authority, in custody, and he's actually begging for mercy, and he's crying. So
Yeah, a
second
grown
grand
man
factor
crying.
goes clearly in favor of the arrestee. Third grand factor, and the most important usually, well always, is there an immediate safety threat to the officer or
None.
anyone else that may be resolved via use of the taser? That really is the most important analysis here. And that is absolutely missing from this factual scenario. Again, this man is totally submitted.
Wait, bestie.
Man, I need that premium YouTube again.
Don't press that skip button. Are you ready to earn your second?
Don't tell me what to do, lady.
Submitted to the officer's authority, listening to obeying the commands, and basically it's just getting tased as a torture device, not even as a pain compliance device. If you look at the case law, the federal courts don't even like tasers to be used as a pain compliance device.
Yeah, no courts like
they
that.
They like them to be used where
fear of life.
The circumstances would find it proportional. So federal case law makes clear that tasers are proportional force only when deployed in response to a situation in which a reasonable police officer would perceive some immediate danger that could be mitigated. This doesn't make the police look good by any means. So it's excessive and unreasonable for a police officer to electrically shock somebody who is not armed or no longer armed, who has been brought to the ground or in custody or has been restrained physically and is no longer actively resisting arrest, even if they were in the past. Immediate danger is therefore the most important fact.
And the guy
if the arrestee does not pose a continuing threat to the officer's safety, then there is no immediate danger, and therefore tasing the arrestee is excessive force.
Yeah, there was absolutely, he was handcuffed, full compliance. The man called the police officer ma'am, and she hit him. You want it again? Like, this does not make the police look good at all. And the fact that it's in Alabama and it's a white officer and a black individual makes this case so much more egregious, in my opinion. I don't know, guys. When I saw this, like, I was furious. I just was like, man, and it's crazy. The boys in blue, they're such a gang. Like, if this lady gets off, there's going to be riots on the street of Alabama. Best believe. I mean, I am not for drug dealing by any means, but talk about the procedure not being done appropriately. And And just the language that was used by this cop, you know, shut up, bitch, you want it again? Just all that stuff was so unneeded. I mean, isn't the goal of a police officer to de-escalate? There was no de-escalation. There was torture, and that is fucked. That is just so wrong. Let's just let this video play out. Again, guys, the civil rights lawyer on YouTube. He's got a little over 400K subscribers. Awesome. He goes in depth on a lot of cases, a lot of big Twitter clips, or X clips. He goes in on them and explains the law behind it. He's a really good channel. I highly recommend you guys check him out.
But you don't really need to go through all that big analysis to just see what any of us can see just by watching this video, that this was an excessive and malicious use of force just designed to cause pain and to punish this individual. And I think that crosses every line that's out there, so as to cause any federal agents or federal prosecutors that watch this video to want to jump on this case. And I can predict right now, and I'll bet good money on this, that that's exactly what happens. And this police officer gets prosecuted.
I hope
Next
so.
You'll be hearing about the indictment, and I believe this police officer will go to federal prison for what you see here. Oh yeah, and one other thing, just so that you know, qualified immunity is not a defense to criminal prosecution. So that's not going to be a factor at all if there is a prosecution here. It always can be asserted in a civil lawsuit if this individual wants to sue this police officer or other police officers involved, or perhaps the employer. Now, qualified immunity never applies, is not even a defense to a claim against the employer, but that's for another video. This police officer could assert qualified immunity in a civil lawsuit. However, qualified immunity will be deprived, will not be a good defense for the officer, where clearly established case law would put the objectively reasonable officer on notice that their behavior violates the Constitution. Here, there are just so many cases out there where taserings have been found to be constitutional violations.
The police are taser happy.
Arrestees are handcuffed and are not resisting. I noticed that somebody had questions about when I say freedom is scary, if I could explain that a little more. Well, sometimes I add a sentence to the front. I probably should do that every time. Well, the point is my freedom does not end where your fear begins.
I agree.
Because freedom is scary. And if you don't want to live somewhere where you have freedom because it's scary, Singapore is nice this time of year, where they execute people for possession of marijuana.
Ouch. So yeah, guys, that's the civil rights lawyer. That was, his legal analysis of the situation. And I found that, the best source to go to on this video. Like, seriously, we got to do something about this police brutality. I mean, these police are literally brutalizing civilians. And in Milwaukee here, it's pretty bad, guys. I've seen police do some pretty crazy shit and get away with it, which is just, it blows my mind on how, the police are so flippant, and, the cameras are on. They're wearing body cams, but they just don't care. Sorry, guys, I just seen elephants on the news. Sorry, guys. Let me just see what this is all
the news
about.
of the double joy was met with delight in Kenya. The African savanna elephant species is currently listed as endangered, and twins account for less than 1% of all elephant births.
Look, elephants.
We know even the babies are massive.
Yeah.
Beautiful animals. We'll take in a live look out there on your Wednesday. We can see the
I love my city in so many ways, guys.
It's going to be cloudy yet again today, chilly as well. Police is tracking some pretty exciting changes that are coming up for the end of the week. Details next.
All right. Sorry, guys. You know me. I always got to keep the news on in the background. It's kind of like going to become my trademark, believe it or not. As long as I don't get sued for it, it's going to be something lovely here. This is Fox 6 News from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by the way.
To grow for the family of an off-duty Milwaukee police officer.
Yeah, this is sad here, guys.
Oak Creek police say Officer James Nowak is in grave condition.
It's after a crash involving a semi Sunday night. Police say the semi was ahead, making a U-turn when Nowak's car collided with the trailer.
And he had just lost his partner the year before. So sad.
Has learned Nowak is an organ donor.
That he was a loving, giving, caring guy. He would give his shirt off his back for anybody. He was a great police officer.
Your family's having a difficult time right now. What can you share about how loved ones are doing?
Just reminiscing and sharing all the good things about Jimmy and all the love they had for him, and supporting his family.
They're talking about him in past tense. I thought he was still alive.
Officer Nowak is the former partner of fallen Milwaukee police officer Peter Jerving. A GoFundMe to help his family has raised tens of thousands of dollars. Oak Creek police continue to piece together what went wrong in the crash.
I think there was alcohol involved.
Getting tased after a multi-county police chase that ended in a crash in Fond du Lac.
More tasing, guys. Cops are going tase crazy.
Hands out, do it now! On your stomach!
This happened last month. The
it does
person in
look
this
bad.
video had just crashed a stolen Camaro on I-41. Washington County Sheriff's deputies originally tried to stop the car, but the chase hit speeds of 115 miles per hour before the crash. The 24-year-old from Glendale faces a number of charges, including OWI and eluding authorities.
And I bet you he was a Kia boy. Here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, guys, we have a gang that are going crazy right now. They call themselves the Kia Boys. They basically steal cars and run drugs. There's a documentary about the Kia Boys on YouTube. Highly recommend you guys check that out. It's the Kia Boys documentary. I believe it was done by Tommy G on YouTube. He goes into the hood and talks with the Kia Boys. And they're not afraid of stealing cars and just going on joyrides. That's what we're dealing with here in Milwaukee, guys. It's pretty heavy. And meanwhile, we got the stadium issues going on.
The team generates billions, that's with a B, of dollars in annual economic impact, and supports thousands of quality family supporting jobs.
The new law also calls for the body that owns the majority of the ballpark to study developing land around American Family Field and get ready for a new ticket tax only for non-Brewers events.
Well, the Bucks are going to Las Vegas.
That's right, Milwaukee moving
Bucks
on
are doing
in the
good,
NBA's
guys.
In-season tournament with a huge win over the Knicks last night.
That's what we want to see. The team has a huge offensive performance. Damian Lillard has a 28-point night. Giannis, 35 points. And the Bucks make an NBA season-high 23 three-pointers. Milwaukee wins 146
Man, that Giannis
to 122.
Antetokounmpo sure is talented.
They play the Pacers in the semifinals in Las Vegas tomorrow.
Most points the Bucks had scored all season. Most points the Knicks had given up since
Isn't
like the
he
60s or
such a
70s.
dork, this news anchor?
Yeah, it was impressive.
Well, the Packers play
Not
the
a fan of
Giants
that
on Monday
guy.
Night
He's such a
Football.
dork.
As you watch the game, grab a second screen. Join us Monday night at 7 for the Green Bay Cast. Our Ted Perry will be joined by Packers Hall of Famer Donald Driver and former New York Giants tight end Travis Beckham. They'll be talking about the game, taking your questions live, and we'll have a lot of ways for you to watch. Fox6now.com, the Fox 6 News app, Fox
Donald
6
Driver.
News Milwaukee on YouTube, the Facebook page, the app, or just
Donald Driver is a football player locally who has really been able to take his name from football and really parlay it into something awesome. He's really quite the character.
Milwaukee Parks Department of Parks Public Works says it will no longer pick up live trees left at the curb next month. Well, that's because the Public Works Department says the DNR recently changed a long-standing rule that now deems Christmas trees as yard waste, and it can't go.
How are people going to get rid of their Christmas trees if the trash will not pick them? How are they're going to have to burn? You can't burn trees in the city limits. How are people supposed to get rid of their Christmas trees? This is insanity, guys. I'm mad. Like, you would think a guy like me wouldn't get mad about Christmas trees, but for real, if you cannot toss your Christmas tree on the curb when, you know, holidays are over, how the fuck are you supposed to get rid of it?
articles rounding out the top searches.
And Gen Z, oh Gen Z, coming up with a new term for dating. We'll break down the qualities of what's being called a golden retriever man.
I don't know if Brian Cramp fits that bill or not. We'll have to stay tuned to stay tuned. He's getting us into the holiday spirit at the Pabst Theater this morning.
The Pabst Theater is legendary, guys. For those of you who don't know,
Rep has been putting
Pabst
on
beer.
their rendition of the Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol, and it is back at the Pabst Theater. We're taking you inside the theater for a preview of this wonderful performance next on Fox 6 Wake Up.
Oh, cannot wait for that, Brian. Thank you so much. And as we head to break, today is December 6th.
As we head to break today, guys, I don't know. Shit's crazy. You know me. MILTOWN in the morning. You know, just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And while we're at it, guys, I figure I might as well check out Twitter, right? Like, that's what we do. So bear with me here for a second, guys, as I pull up my Twitter. And we can just do a little scrolling, because why not? Come on, man. Why ain't you working, man? You would think I'd be better at this, man. There we go. Booyah. I knew I'd get it eventually. Am I on the right one, guys? Yep, I am. So, as we're checking out the good old... Yeah, guys, did you see this shit about fucking Slug?
To hypothetically
this guy's gonna end up in jail.
Okay, what weapon would I use? How would I afford the weapon? How the fuck would I afford the fucking transportation? How would I afford the flight, the hotel, the flight back, my food, my ammo, or hell, how am I going to fucking make sure that I don't get caught? There's a whole lot of shit. But if I were to hypothetically kill
Slug?
Ember, okay, what weapon?
Slug, what are you doing with yourself, guy? This Ember could take to her local authorities and say, I am fearful that this man is seriously plotting to take my life. What are the comments on this saying? PT, I'm glad you posted this. You know, Slug, I like you as a guy, man, but you got to stop behavior like this, bro. This shit is going to get you in trouble. And he thinks this word here, hypothetically, is the saver. Like, one word will save him from any kind of prosecution. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Wow, I just Slug, man. I got to hear that one more time, guys.
But if I were to hypothetically kill Ember, okay, what weapon would I use? How would I afford the weapon? How the fuck would I afford the fucking transportation? How would I afford the flight, the hotel, the flight back, my food, my ammo, or hell, how am I going to fucking make sure that I don't get caught? There's a
Slug is out here. Oh my god. I don't, at 329 views and nobody whoa. Well, what do you think about Slug just blatantly talking about how he would kill Ember Lily? Some sick shit, man. That is, take this guy's modem away for at least a week. He needs to be grounded from the internet. Controversial ways I'm raising my son. Okay. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Good. Don't force your kid into a box, I guess. I mean, but you're kind of forcing your kid out of a box with all the rainbow flags in the background. And, you know, there is, you know, you may not be trying to go this way, but by not going this way, you're going the completely opposite direction, which kind of forces them in that direction. If you're seeking mother's approval and, you know, this is what gets mother's approval, you will go in the direction that mother wants. Just saying. And then Vault Wanderer says he needs to chill some of the spicy stuff. It will blame him, and yeah, it will. It'll bite him in the ass. It really will. I really worry about Slug because, you know, he has no filter, and I've been guilty of that myself. You know, just kind of blurting it out. You know, Eli used to help me out a lot with that. Like, maybe you might not want to talk about this, not say that. But Slug doesn't have a filter, but he's alone in his apartment, and you know, he lives for his content, and I can relate to that. I know what that's like. It's just real heavy stuff, you know. All right, what else do we got going on here in the go? As you guys can tell, I follow a lot of the commentary community folk. Talk about Turd Island for a second. I gotta talk about Turd Island because I am really, really proud of Badwick. Badwick is doing some amazing stuff, you guys. Badwick is taking this community and bringing them together in a way that I didn't really think was possible, or it's what I always wanted out of the community. I think, you know, there is a lot of camaraderie in this community. It's just we needed somebody to gather around, and Badwick is really becoming that individual. I think he is going to become, not only is he going to be the male creator of the year in my award show, according to the votes, he's like way ahead right now. He is kind of like, him and Leah something are really the two beacons of this community right now. And, you know, the commentary community has changed a lot. You know, it's not Bo Blacks, Augie, and all these guys that are top dogs anymore. Our community has shrunk immensely. But the ones that are in control are at the top right now. You know, I hate to say it, D-Max is kind of a top dog right now. I would say Peepaw, maybe not ahead by subscribers, but fan support is far surpassed Xylee at this point. I think Peepaw gets more love than Xylee does. I think a lot of people get more love than Xylee gets. I know Leah gets way more love than Xylee gets. And it's good to see. I think Badwick is really on to something with the Turd Island stuff. And I appreciate that Badwick reaches out to me from time to time and asks for my take on stuff. It makes me feel like I'm a part of a community, and I like that feeling. I like feeling a part of something bigger than myself. And that's all I've ever really wanted from this community. So as we keep scrolling here, guys, how many of you guys follow Rich Lux? Are any of you guys Rich Lux fans? I've followed him for a while now, and I've been up and down on him, but lately I think he's really finding his niche. Yeah, he looks like he's on drugs. Look at that look on Chris Brown's face. He's definitely not the Chris Brown we remember from back in the day now, is he? Hold on. Why didn't you guys tell me? Oops. Why isn't it working, fool? Hold on, guys. We have an issue. Houston, we have a problem. Bingo. There we go. I knew I'd fix it. I try to fix it every time. I didn't mean to make you guys have to look at my clouds for so long there. Really, Vault, you're not a fan of Rich Lux? I really think the man's got a gimmick. He's got the face paint. He's got his whole shtick with his voices and his sayings. I think he's finding his routine. But yeah, Chris Brown's definitely on some drugs. And where do we stand on Jalen, guys? Are we a fan of Jalen and all of what she does? I will say Jalen is very self-aware of her actions, and I don't know if she is really diagnosed with everything that she says she is. I think Jalen does a lot of online reading and self-diagnosis a lot of the time. I think if Jalen actually saw a therapist and a psychologist and all that, I think she would be a lot happier knowing the truth as opposed to all the self-diagnosing that she does. But that's my take on Jalen. Sorry, guys, I'm just scrolling through my X feed and just giving you my takes on what's popping up here. MILTOWN in the morning. We're just talking about news and whatnot. Whatever's going on in the day. Like I said, guys, it is December 6th, 7:21 a.m. here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'm having fun streaming again. It's, you know, getting back in the habit, trying to do something that I love. And like I said, that whole Jeremy Hales and the cop news were the two things I really wanted to touch on today. And I kind of sped through them a little fast. I'm not as up on the game as I used to be, so I got a lot of work to do. But, you know, we'll get there in the end. Vault says Jalen occasionally comes out with some hilarious cancelable comment. Yeah, I agree. Jalen, you know, I think had Jalen done more with Salvo, I think there really could have been magic there between them two. But nobody ever really gave him a chance, you know. I think there could have been a lot with the banter between Salvo and Jalen. Jalen trans, Salvo. I don't want to say Salvo's anti-trans, but Salvo. You know, there could have been some magic there with that, and I think it should have been explored. But other than that, guys, I don't really got much else for you this morning. I think I went for 57 minutes. So, yeah, I guess we'll call it at about the hour mark. Just diving back in, trying to hop in slowly into the whole stream game. I don't know why that just transitioned like that. It shouldn't have done that. But once again, whoa, can you believe that, guys? That is gnarly. Ha, fixed it. Once again, guys, it is your boy, Supa Dave. And this was MILTOWN in the morning. Shall we see what the weather is here? You guys want to know what the weather is here in good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin before I get out of here?
On Friday, as we see these green colors, that's going to indicate the 40s and 50s stretching further into southern portions of Wisconsin. Mid-50s are forecasted for us by Friday afternoon. Now, that warming trend is very short-lived. We'll start to have some of the blue, purple colors surge back down from the north as we head into the weekend. Behind our next frontal system, it'll bring us back down to reality with the 30s back by Sunday and into Monday of next week. So for today, it is still going to be cool. Bigger impact is the wind chills. We'll still have some wind chills in the 20s during the morning hours, feeling more like the low to mid-30s this afternoon. We're tracking a high pressure and a warm front that's heading our way.
Guys, I hate the fucking cold.
Winds out of the south, but those winds are going to pick up in intensity by the afternoon. So as we look at it, Sky Vision Plus, in terms of our sky conditions and winds, the clouds will stick around. Winds will change out of the southwest, but increasing with some wind speeds.
Only in Milwaukee, Wisconsin would we have a chubby weather girl. Everybody else has beautiful, trim, petite weather girls. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where we like cheese and dairy, we got a chubby
likely not
weather
going to
girl.
happen just because we have drier air in
Carla, I'm sorry. I'll stick on for a couple more minutes. I ain't got nothing else to do.
Some rain and snow in the forecast. That is going to be on Saturday. We've been talking about
We're just watching the news.
Low-pressure system moving north and moving south. We're going to break it down more for you and what you need to know coming up in a little bit.
This is how it feels to live purposefully.
And that's the good old weather here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We'll check back on that. But I was just going to take off. But Carla, how's your day going? Real quick, we might as well get a little in depth with Carla while we can, guys. How you doing, Carla? See, now I tell Carla I'm going to stand, and she's like, I'm straight. Oh, yeah, guys. But I think, you know, what's wrong? There's nothing really wrong with an hour show, right? Like, I mean, that's fair doing, right? Not many people, like, I think Peepaw goes for an hour and a half, depends on what he has to talk about. So I don't think I'm shortchanging anybody by any means. But, all right, if nobody wants anything else to say, I'm going to take off. With all that being said, guys, I love you.